Hello everybody. So today I'm bringing you a video on how to do a specific setting pattern and talk a little bit about the Middy cut. Now we just launched our vintage curl sets workshop up in Maryborough, which we'll bring it down to Nambour soon, and it is a class that I can easily take on tour as well. So if you want me to come to your town, especially along the east coast of Australia in New South Wales, I'll be heading down your way in autumn next year, so about May. So the Middy cut. The Middy cut is probably been new to vintage styling. You started reading about it in a lot of setting patterns. It is a specific type of haircut that gives you the most out of your hairstyles, especially for vintage styling. So this is Creative Hairstyling, Hair Shaping and Hairstyling. It's a book that was published in 1947, and I get my vintage books from Bram Cost Productions. They just they're the originals photocopied and bound into a new book. So I've got out of this book, and this is the master cutting diagram for the 6 hairstyles of vintage styling. So we've got this shingle plus baby, Middy plus, and long. So you realise if you look at all of the measurements along here, the long haircut is actually 6 inches long. So it's not long in our modern terms, but it's long for a vintage haircut. The one that I currently have is the Middy. So this is, let me just find the picture. So this is the Middy haircut. Now, if you happen to go to my hairdresser, Tracy, in Time Hair Salon in Noosa Junction, she has a photocopy of the front section of this book. So any of those hairstyles and haircuts that you want, she'll be able to bring it out, and you can sit there and she can go with you and measure out how long all the lengths are before you're going to get them cut, so you can know you're up for this commitment. So I have a Middy haircut. As you can see, this is just freshly washed. It has lots and lots of layers, especially this crown section. That is all layers. This is how you get that beautiful curl set, and the shortness on the top here is how you can get that great height into all these swoops that you see with all this vintage hairstyling. So today, now I've got my hair falling out. Today I'm going to go through a setting pattern out of this book, which is the top wave reverse roll. So it's that beautiful thing. If you're familiar with the front cover of Casablanca or the movie itself, this is what she is rocking the whole movie. Does not change her hair. She has this in the front, and this is the setting pattern for it. So I'm going to attempt this today. We'll see how I went. So it's all just on this crown section of hair. So I'm just going to separate that, which it is quite easy when you have a Middy cut to find your sections, because they are quite defined. Now, of course, you can use vintage setting patterns on a modern haircut. It just might not sit exactly to the T, but you can get the general gist of it. All right, so pulling that up, I can tell that is all my front section. It's got 3 different lengths on it, as per the Middy cut. Got 1 layer, 2 layers, 3 layers. One even at the back. Let me just fix that up. Get that back there. Right. So because it is quite short, I'm just going to pin back these sides. Right, so we're in this together now. Yep. Right, and try and get that section as neat as possible. This bit's going to really annoy me. That one there. That one back. There we go. That's a bit better. And I'm just going to pin this section down and flat as well, just so I avoid hair confusion. All right, so this is my crown section, my bang section. Right, so according to this setting pattern, we have 6 pin curls at the front going one way, and then we've got 2 rows of 4 going the other way, and that's what gets you that nice divot in the pin curls. Now obviously in the curl sets workshop we go into a lot more about pin curls and all the different methods and all the different techniques that you can use with them and how you can work with them and troubleshoot them. This is just a quick one to show you what this is like. So I've got towel dried hair. This is actually kind of getting a bit too dry now, and I'm going to put some setting solution in it. This is the Suavecita Grooming Spray, and I'm just liberally putting that all through this section. Alright, now I'm going to create these 3 sections, which should be fairly similar to my layers. That's one whole layer. Easy peasy setting with a Middy cut. And then this. Should be one whole layer as well. Yep. There we go. Now I've got, whoopsies, you belong in there. There we go. So I've got this section here. A little bit more setting solution. Now I've got to split this up into 6 according to this pattern. Easiest way to do this is to section it before you start doing it, so you know that all of your sections are going to be approximately the same size, instead of going all the way along doing 5 and then realizing you don't have any room left. Now I will have to put a little bit more setting solution in it because I can feel already it's actually kind of dry. So it does take a little bit of practice following setting patterns, translating it from 2D to 3D. So it is literally practice makes perfect. Alright, front row all roll in that way. Now the next row, this one, they are all going to be rolling that way. And I only need 4. There, make sure you secure all of them. They're not going to be sliding out during the day. Alright, so setting pattern on the top, done. All of this row went that way, all that row went that way. And then for the rest of the hair, I'm just going to do my regular sponge roller set, which is just with these. Right, so done. I've just sponge rolled all of the rest of my hair. Just a little bit of Suavecita on each section. And then now I'm just going to liberally, get one that's just come loose. I'm just going to liberally spray that all over. Right, and then I'm going to sit like this for a little bit because I'm just going to be doing some office work, and I will wrap it up for the rest of the day and take it out in the morning. See you then. Alright, so we're at the morning. Excuse me. So these have been in for about 24 hours. I wrapped them up and slept in it, and when I was rolling around town I just had a little hair flower there too. So I'm just going to take off my headscarf. Just got caught on a pin curl clip there. Alright, so they're pretty much still in the same spot. Nothing has moved too dramatically, and I can feel that the sponge rollers and that are all nice and dry. So I'm just going to start taking them out now. Alright, so that's all of the sponge rollers taken out. A little bit frizzy, which for me when I do a wet set, that's what happens. I'm just going to lightly run my fingers through this back section before I take out this front section. Try and break up some of that curl. Taking out these pin curl clips. Alright, so now definitely got some good curl in that front section, and I can already see that that's got a nice little dip in it with that curl. Alright, so now I'm going to just keep breaking it up with my fingers. So this is where wet sets produce the best amount of curl. As you can see, I have a ton of curl in my hair, and that is from wetting it and setting it from wet. Get a stronger bond than any heat will ever do. The only thing is that you got to deal with is how to maintain and how to handle all this curl. So I've got my fingers mainly through it all. Now I'm going to go in with a brush. Right, so I've just got good old regular paddle brush, and take these off, and I'm just going to brush through all that curl. Right, so this is where a lot of people would get discouraged. They'll sit there and go, oh my gosh, what am I meant to do with all of this hair? Keep brushing. Alright, So once you've gotten that main afro down and you've got it all forming some sort of uniform curl all around the back and the sides, sort of how you're wanting it to sit, grab a little bit of oil. You can use argan oil, Moroccan oil. This is the Suavecita Argan Silkening Serum. A little bit on your hands, like glisten, run that through all those curls. That is, the oil is going to help put that moisture back into the ends that you do lose when you are brushing out a wet set, and it helps to define those curls. Keeps them still that nice fluffiness that you want, but just that little bit of sheen. Right. So you can tell that's already made a massive difference to those curls. A little bit more uniform on that side. A little bit cuter on this side. Alright, now I'm going to just use a comb to really form that curl. Now if you remember, this is the satin pattern I did at the front, so I'm looking for some sort of formation like that. So I've already got nice lift up the top there, and I can see that little dip happening about there. So that's sort of how it's going to go. It's going to go up and flick up and around because of my layers. They want to flick up there. So quite happy with that. I'll leave that there for a little bit. Now that I've got that there, thinking I want to just pull that side back a little bit. Just use a grip tooth comb. I've just got to put a comb in there and then letting that fall. So I've got a little bit more. A little bit more of the curls pushed back off my face so it's not too full on. And just use the brush. And mold those curls to how you want it to sit. Right. And if you have any little bits that are looking like they're coming apart, what you can do is just comb them, and you can sort of just poke them into that mound of curls that you've got. Right. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm just going to add a bit of hairspray. Now when you've got wave clips or anything like that holding your hair into place while you spray, you just want to be careful not to put too much hairspray on it because they will leave a dint. Just putting enough hairspray for it to hold. And I know with my hair, it will relax about a couple of centimeters as well, so in a few hours this will relax probably down to about here. And what the hairspray is going to do is just make sure all of those curls are sort of stuck together, so that when it relaxes in length, but it doesn't actually relax the curls too much. And you can take out these clips. And I've got where my first layer finishes is just there. You can see little frizzies there, and a bit on the top section, just a little bit of pomade, not too much. You just want to have the slightest glisten on your hands. And just going to mold that section. So if you can see in the light there is a slight little mark from that clip where that hairspray has hit it. All you do is just gently comb it. And I almost want to encourage that to sit down a little bit so I get a bit more of that definition. And you work with what your hair's doing. So my ends have naturally just flicked into a little pin curl there. If they do that, it's actually a lot easier to secure, because I can just take the bobby pin and ensure that's not going to go anywhere. Just try and hide that down there. So now I have a bobby pin that's holding that little pin curl in place there. And then another thing you can do as well is you can weave the bobby pins into place just to keep this little wave I've got. I am just very gently, do that one again. You want to just very gently weave that bobby pin in and out of the hair. Yeah, that's better. So all you can see is just the very end there. You can move some of that hair down, and that is holding that wave into place. And once you're happy with how the curls are all sitting, give it a final hairspray. Remember, if you do have a shorter haircut, make sure you are spraying underneath here on the neckline, because you'll find that will be the area that will drop first. And then a new product that I love as well is the RPR Argan Oil Spray. So I use the actual serum oil before to tame that frizz. I use this more like a finishing spray. So I've got it all how I like it, and it just gives it that little bit of extra shine. And you can pat it down. Gives it that little bit of extra shine, a little bit more frizz control without actually destructing any of those curls or any of those waves or features that you've put into your hair. Right, and then you can just leave it like that or add a little clip. And done. So that is the complete hairstyle, which was from pin curl clips in a specific pattern up here to try and get that little wave formation encouraged, and sponge rollers at the back. all of the products that I have used are available on the website. Just check back. I'm always getting more stock, and recently from my Maribor trip, the girls bought me out of a lot of stuff, especially my curl set kits. So just keep an eye. And this little one is from Pin-Up Curl. She's an Etsy shop and also an amazing vintage hairstylist that you can follow on Instagram as well. All right, thank you. Bye.